everyone. My name's Nathan, and today I'm going to be talking about my co-op placement at Touch New Zealand. So for those that aren't aware, so Touch New Zealand is based at Henderson at the Trust Arena, just upstairs the corner. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm currently doing a extended pathway, but my career is leaning towards coaching. So at my role for Touch New Zealand, I'll be doing a lot of coaching, particularly for touch and touch, mostly at school for primary and intermediate kids. I've also had the opportunity to use this time to also work in the administration role for the sport development office, which is for people like myself who are becoming coaches or referees to explore the right ranges of the careers of coaching or refereeing. So one of the theories I've taken from the university here and saw into my placement was the integrated coaching practice, and from that point I was seeing what a coach developer is. For those that aren't aware, a coach developer is someone who has a lot more experience in coaching than someone else who's new to the scene, such as myself, take the reins or take the session. They'll still be there supervising, but they won't be taking any lead whatsoever. So, for example, I'll be attending there and I'll be coaching how to pass the ball, how to sidestep or anything else. They can just come in and add some advice, tips, maybe ask a question based on how the session is going and what I need to improve. And also want to acknowledge as well, when you're coaching kids, that you also want to have them have fun as well. You don't want to give them too much learning curve by just sitting them down and explaining anything. They're going to learn much more better when they're actually doing the practical or any activity that we give them. So during this time at COVID-19, it obviously affected some placements that we know. Obviously for me, when we got to level 3, there wasn't really much there was some uncertainty based on what was going to be provided. Luckily, we were able to go to 2.5 pretty quick. But because of the timing that was used, there was going to be some planning or restructure that had to be adjusted or changed. One of the examples I can give was I was currently coaching Turbo Touch at school, where we would have had 6 weeks prepping for just coaching or just teaching the kids how to play Turbo Touch. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances, we had to limit the time by 6 to 4 weeks, and that obviously meant that not only for myself to not accomplish a lot more hours, but also for kids, children, to not actually learn a lot more of Turbo. So during this time, I've been working through Touch New Zealand and learning all through what the organisation does for the community. Obviously, also during the time of COVID, I've been trying to work through the administrations. It wasn't the ideal ideal initial that I was coming into, but it was also quite helpful for me to learn more of the people in the organisation and what they do within their community. And during the time with the sport development office, I've been able to see the inside of what people like myself can refer to when going to career pathways such as coaching, refereeing, and also other volunteers and so on. So for an overall conclusion, I've been working with Touch NZ based at Henderson at the Trust Arena. I've been working to do the best of my ability, doing the best and applying my own coaching from what I've been doing from here and applying it to when I've been out there at schools, teaching either touch or to touch. My career is still in the pathway of coaching and achieving all the best of the learning outcomes that I've been putting on from the beginning of this co-op. And I'll be looking forward to doing so during the next co-op or any other time that I'm at Touch NZ. Just a couple of reference here for coaching and also the development coaches as well. Thanks for my time.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yep.
What are you going to do for your project?
So I haven't really thought about that too much. Basically, I've been keeping it step by step, but I have been keeping a plan. I've been talking with my academic supervisor, my supervisor at Touch NZ, based on what I've been doing and looking to also look into job-wise where I could be possibly paid. But for me personally, I'm just more educational, just for the experience and the opportunities to be working through it.
What made you want to pursue coaching from a standard pathway?
That would probably have to go back towards high school really, where probably at a stage where I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in my life. So obviously I liked sport when I was at high school, so I'll take the opportunity to take that, and obviously when I see an overall coaching, maybe once I've got more experience and more older and wiser, then I'll be required to give back to that knowledge and apply that. Anything else?
I was just wondering, while you've been working at Touch, what's the biggest thing that's changed personally for you over that time?
You mean my personal, do you mean?
Yourself personally. Have you noticed a change since the start of Co-op?
I think I have, sometimes I would have thought, why am I doing this? Why? Just because I turn up, because I want to fill in the requirements and stuff like that. But obviously now when I'm getting much more involved, I actually want to be taking much more part of it, and obviously I'm not just seeing this as something for work or education-wise, just something passion for me that I want to continue doing, and just turning up with a good attitude, and definitely something that gets me out of bed for a good reason, really.
Yeah. So what's the best bit about working at Touch?
Obviously the best part would be just meeting the good people we've been. Even before I started, a guy I knew from a previous work experience was there, so that was a bonus for me for having to know someone who I've met before coming into an organisation, and that's also, and once I got to know a little more, it's like, I've got I can probably apologies for just to mention myself more as a person.
Yeah. Really good. Okay, thank you very much, Nathan.